So it's almost Netflix release day as we're recording this. But how for you does a movie release now differed from a book release day?
I think, well, so both of them, I don't know if you guys feel this, like with, I mean, because you're doing this podcast, it's like when you, maybe the first one or like the Olympics, like anything where it's like you feel like, oh, my whole life is going to feel different after this one thing, or this day is going to feel huge. Yeah. And then it happens and you're like, oh, everything's like kind of the same. And that's like a good and bad thing. Like it can be depending on where you are mentally. So like, I feel like with book releases, I learned early on that like, it's a day where like you get a lot of text messages and then it's out and you're like, okay, now it's out. And now nothing is different. Right. This movie release process has been like more drawn out. So it's been kind of crazy because it's like we've been doing press and I've seen the movie like 6 times now in different settings. I know. And I still love it. But I'm like, I actually will take a week probably to watch it next time. It's so good. But, you know, and like, and doing all these different screenings and fan screenings. And so it's like, it kind of feels like it's already halfway out. Right. Okay, so I'm desperate for what you will have already experienced.
Yes. Perfect.
I just want all of the readers to have seen it at this point. Yeah. Yeah.
How much of a hand did you have in like picking the actors and the characters? And they were saying, because I didn't get to see it, but some things were different.
Yeah, totally.
There's some as well. Yeah. Some things were a little bit different, but like, did that, you think, make it a little bit better for the screen?
For sure. Yeah. So I love getting to dish about all of this. So I think like something that most readers don't realize is that authors ultimately have no say at all. You have no say. And that's just like, it happens occasionally that maybe someone does. But in general, it's like I have so many friends who've had adaptations where they're like, they basically called me and were like, we're doing press. We need you to pretend that you were like involved in this. And they're like, no. Okay, I haven't been able to get anyone to like email me back in months. Sure. I did not have that experience. I was very, very, very lucky. Even if someone's like an executive producer, that does not mean anything. That's like a courtesy where they're saying like, we value you. No, go away.
Love you.
Yes, love you later.
Kisses
love you
on the
like
forehead.
A sister, only worse. But so the director, Brett Haley, when he signed on, he had done an adaptation before for All the Bright Places, which was a really beloved YA novel. And so he knew like how passionate readers are. And he knew like you really need to have them on board if you're going to have a successful adaptation. Right. Like you don't like spit in the face of the person who made you get this job. Basically, like this is happening because of this readership. And so he called me right away and was like, give me the full list of everything that you think the readers want to see in it and your non-negotiables and all of that. And that was like years ago now. I know. And like, I have to say, this is a straight guy. I was like, really, I was very, you know, because I didn't choose the director either. They were just sort of like, and here's who's directing it. And I just feel like we got so lucky that he actually wanted to make the same movie that like I wanted to be made. And he kept me like up to date on every little change. He kept me up to date on everything. Like when they were talking cast, I knew like who they were considering. And he wanted my opinion, and he couldn't always like enforce my opinion. But if I felt strongly about something, he always took it back to the larger team and was like, I think, you know, he was on my side. And I also like, you know, I love movies. I love writing books, but I love movies. So I didn't feel like I expected this to be exactly the book. Like the point and joy of this is that it gets to be a little bit different. It's what happens when somebody adapts your work. You think about, like, I kind of try to prep my readers, or it's like, think about Batman. Like there isn't just one Batman. And if you love a certain one, it doesn't mean that the others, you know, don't like deserve to exist. And like if a new one gets made that you don't like as much, it doesn't undo the ones that already exist. So I knew there'd be changes. He tried to like keep me in the loop and get my opinion and my sign off on like everything that he could. I love this movie. I think it's so good. And there's really only like one thing that I personally am like, oh, I wish this had been a tiny bit more like the book. But in general, I'm like, I'm obsessed. And I think a lot of the changes just, make more sense for the screen. They're like bigger, like broader, funnier moments that are more like set piecey. They found really creative ways to take things that are kind of long, slow building jokes in the novel and make them just kind of happen in one different scene. So that was really like, I don't know, he really found like creative ways to get everything that I wanted in. And I'm like very spoiled now because I have all these other adaptations and I'm going to be showing up being like, you guys,
this is my standard.
This is my standard. And and the readers, I think and hope that they will feel spoiled too. And I hope that like all of the other teams will see this as like a good blueprint for like how to make a great adaptation. I think like Hamnet is another good example. I've not seen it yet, but it's so cool to me that Chloe Zhao, who's like this powerhouse who did not have to let anyone else be involved at all, but she specifically wanted the author to co-write with her and had to like kind of talk her into it. And they got this like, by all accounts, beautiful movie out of it. And because it's like, she's so good at what she does, but the novelist knows the story and these characters so well. And I just think like, when you can find someone you collaborate with really well, that's when you're going to get like the absolute best outcome. And Brett and I worked really, really well together.
That's gorgeous. We left the theater and Adriana was like, oh, they put some love into that thing.
Yeah. And like everyone at Netflix too, like they were really passionate. Like I can't believe everything that they've done to promote it and all the excitement for it. I mean, the thing with rom-coms, like the reason that they're like easy to get made theoretically is because they're inexpensive compared to like a Marvel movie. Like we don't need special effects, like whatever. And Netflix has been the first studio to really like embrace romance. A lot of the other studios have been very slow to understand that there's an audience there. They're like, wait, women? I haven't heard of that.
What do you mean?
Can you draw one?
Women, money,
right?
No.
It's wild. They're so like publishing. I feel like already had this moment like 10 years ago. They already know. They're like, women are the most voracious readers. They're like a really dedicated audience.
They control the money in the household.
They
do the spending.
Sociological, like it's proven. So yeah, I just feel really lucky that like everybody was so passionate and so excited about it. And Dan Lin, the head of film there, like he gave like that beautiful speech at the beginning where he was like, my whole goal here when I started was just to like make every movie that I made like somebody's favorite movie, and with this movie I know it's going to be somebody's like so many people's favorite movie. And, it was so sweet. I mean, we just have been so lucky to have that kind of support. Like things like this don't happen. It's so hard to get a movie made, even like a bad movie. Yeah. So for a movie to get made that's a good movie, that I think
great movie.
A great movie. Thank you.
I walked out of there and I was like, we need to make more rom-coms.
We were pleased.
Like I feel like deprived of it. Yeah. Like a quality where you can tell there's love.
Yeah. And like, conviction. I think that's something that I've realized too. I don't know like what your experience has been with this, but I feel like as a viewer, sometimes I watch like rom-coms, like the newer, some, not always, and I don't want to like yuck anyone's yum by any means, but sometimes I do feel like they were made by people who don't love the genre, or maybe they were probably originally written and directed by people who love the genre, but the powers that be or whatever, there's so many voices,
like the soul from it.
And like I have this writer friend who we joke that it's like they're sort of like, there, I bet you like that, piggy, and they're like slinging slop at
it
you
down,
and you're like, could you ask someone like why we love this genre and what it means to us and why it matters, and could you take it seriously and by extension take us seriously for a minute? And I think that this movie, it's they really did it. Like everybody believed that this was like a piece of art. Yeah. And it doesn't have to be like the most serious piece of art or like the most life-changing piece of art. But I think that they saw like this is something that has emotional value and like profundity to it. Like Alex and Poppy's story, I think is so relatable that like I feel like I'm constantly in that push and pull of, am I too much? Am I not enough? Like that's just such a real human fear that can get in the way of our intimacy. And yeah, I just feel like I want to see, there's so many great romance novels out there, and I want to see so many more rom-com films that like give the stories at their heart the like care and love that they deserve.
Yeah, absolutely. And because this was so well done, like I was like, okay, give me more.
Yeah. And Netflix wants to. I know that. And I hope that the other studios now will also be like, oh,
got it.
Oh, yeah, people like
things
this.
That women like are important.
And also like, I'm not going to guess what it is they like about this. I'm going to go ask them.
The professional.
Like go ask someone why this story matters. Because it's like, I think there's also this idea that it's all just sheer escapism. Because like, the world is the worst. Yeah. The world is not good right now. And I think there's this idea that it's just sheer escapism and it's just fantasy. And I really adamantly do not feel that way. I think that the reason that romance is hitting us all so hard, like the readers who love it right now, is because it's about hope and about the idea of like, even though things can be very dark and scary and bad and tumultuous, like there are these little kernels of light, and like the best things in life are just like things that it's like just loving people. Like the best thing that you can possibly have in your life is just loving someone and being loved romantically and otherwise. And like, I don't know, seeing a story that values that puts that at the center and is kind of like, this is the point. Yeah. Like this is the point of being, this is like what we can do is like love each other. I don't know.
It's free.
It's free. Yeah.